It's Wednesday. That means it's book club day. I just want to apologize for last Wednesday, the shaky cam, the mess of words that happened. I was just kind of feeling like no one was feeling the book because people were reading the preface and everyone was like, this sucks, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. But then I decided we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna push through this. I'm gonna read this first 3 chapters and we're gonna do this and I'm gonna see how it goes. And you know what? It got a lot better and I like it. A couple other people are starting to really like it, so I'm just gonna keep doing this because that's what I want to do. And I do what I want to do. So we're just gonna pretend like last week didn't happen. This week's chapters 1 through 3, next week's chapter 4 through 6, so on and so forth. Let's do this. We're reading James Potter and the Hall of Elders Crossing, and I love it. I really am liking it. It reads like a Harry Potter book and it's fun and it's cool, but it's like different. In chapter 1, obviously there's the whole him wanting to live up to his dad's reputation and all that storyline going on, but there's like a lot more than I expected. When he's on the train and he meets the boys and they're asking if his dad is Harry Potter, I liked how he like talked about how he likes the recognition, because I was expecting him to be like, ew, I don't want anyone to know my dad's Harry Potter. But really he was like, I like it, like I like being known, and that's cool because I didn't expect that to be part of his character. I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping he wasn't gonna be a Gryffindor, because how much cooler would it have been if Harry Potter's son was like a Slytherin and he wasn't a Gryffindor. Like that's just typical for me, but I mean, yay, Gryffindors. I love the kids that are the gremlins. They're like, we're the cool kids, we do all the cool stuff, and then they went through the passage, and it was funny because the passageway was a statue of a guy, and he had to like get off the podium and go to the boys' room and go pee for them to like sneak through and stuff. That was really neat. In chapter 1, the gremlins, they played the prank on the muggles, and they like went and made James Potter look like a alien, and they like messed up the guy's tomatoes, and it was funny, and it was on newspaper, and hilarious. And then in chapter 2, we met Tabitha, and I don't know, I feel like I want to think that she's just a bad Slytherin because that's what I want my brain to think, because obviously she's doing the whole like super nice thing and the whole whatever, but then is that like my brain just going in the path that I want it to go in, and then she's not actually bad and she just has the rebel thing going on? I don't know. I love how in chapter 2 we got to meet some American teachers. How cool, like the whole thing's been British the entire time. Harry Potter's just been Brits. But now there's some American teachers and there's American students. Like Zane is my fave. I think the line that made Zane my favorite character was when he was like, my dad says girls don't know whether they like ice cream until they've tried every kind. I don't know, I just thought that was really funny because he's like 11, you know, trying to get at that girl, and he's talking about trying ice cream. But the American teachers are super cool. I like how they incorporated like some American personalities. Madame Delacruz, she's like this voodoo witch from New Orleans and she makes a mad gumbo, you know what I mean? Like that's really cool that they incorporated that kind of American culture into it. Can we just talk about real quick how one of the teachers is Benjamin Franklin? Benjamin Franklin is the dark arts teacher. Come on, too cool, can't even. I am just in love with that. Like that is the coolest, like whoever thought, total props. That's a high five from me. Too cool, great idea, love it. In chapter 2 we also found out that Ralph sneaks in a game deck, which I'm guessing is like a Xbox, PlayStation-y kind of thing. I like how they incorporated the internet, because in all the other Harry Potter books they didn't talk about the internet or any kind of anything in the real world. So the game deck, internet thing, that's like real world, magic world together. In chapter 3, it was cool because like the story just keeps growing, and I like that because there's so much more going on. Like all these other things were going on, like the gremlins and all these other things that we've already learned about in the first 2 chapters. But then in chapter 3, we learn about this like mysterious ghost guy that turns into a kid, and James didn't know who he was. And then there was the guy taking pictures, and we're like, what's going on? And then we find out that the Gryffindor house ghost died, and so maybe you're on the same page as me, thinking that this ghost that James saw is the new Gryffindor ghost, but no one else knows, and that James is gonna discover it. Fingers crossed. I like how this book and this author kept with how we're able to like kind of take the classes with the students, because in the original Harry Potter books, we got to like read through a lot of the lectures and classes and stuff, and we got to do that too, and it was really neat. when we got to be there during the technomancy class, where they like teleported from one side of the room to the other side of the room, and the teacher's kind of like a prick, and it's just like really cool. Harry Potter is coming back to the school for a meeting with the American teachers, and that he's the head of the, I don't know if you guys have trouble pronouncing that, but A-U-R-O-R, that word, Arbor, the head of the Arbors, like the wizard police people, yeah. And we find out that Tabitha is leading this rebellion, and she's handing out these badges that all the Slytherins are wearing. Say no to false history, or say no to our fear-mongering, and say yes to freedom of magical expression, and question the victors. So what does that mean? Is she gonna try and, you know, bring back the Slytherin Voldemort days, or what is she doing, you know what I mean? We also got to see Hagrid still, and that was cool because we need a familiar face, you know? We also got to learn some more about Hagrid and his brother, and how his brother's in a courtship with some giant, and that's funny, and that's cool that we get to learn more about Hagrid and his family. And the last kind of question it left us with in Chapter 3 was whether or not we think Ralph should be a Slytherin or not, because there's this whole Slytherin rebellion going on, and Ralph's this cool, nice, chubby kid, and he's hanging out with James Potter, and he's hanging out with Zane and them, and what's going, you know, should he be Slytherin, or is he in the wrong house? What's going on? So my questions for this week are, who's your favorite character so far? Do you think Tabitha is a friend or a foe? And should Ralph be a Slytherin or not? Leave me some comments, some video responses, tell me what you think. Hope you had fun. Thanks for watching. You can follow me at ain'talmostgone.tumblr.com, at ain'talmostgone on Twitter and Instagram, and you can connect with me on the new MySpace at new.myspace.com/ain'talmostgone. Deuces! Shitted on them. Yeah, I just shitted on them. Shitted on them, pushing number 2s in the air if you did it on them.